This is page 200 of Making Connections 1. I recommend that you read the article first before watching the video, because I moved through it pretty quickly. Make sure that you take notes as part of your homework. The dark side of nature. Nature usually plays a positive role in our lives. Sometimes, nature can turn wild and dangerous. Some natural events can cause serious injuries, death, and significant damage. These events are called natural disasters. So I'm just putting a box around the word and then underlining the definition. There are two main types of natural disasters. Okay, so whenever they tell us there are two main types, we have to make note of that. First, there are extreme weather events, such as violent storms. Second, some natural disasters are the result of movements under the earth. These movements are called earthquakes. Okay, so make a note of that. Two types of natural disasters. Number one, extreme weather, for example, storms. And then number two, earthquakes. Violent storms bring heavy rain and strong wind. All of the rain can cause floods. The most serious violent storms begin over oceans. These are called hurricanes, cyclones, or typhoons. Their names depend on their locations. Okay, so I'm going to make a note of this. A hurricane is a massive storm in the Atlantic Ocean or the Eastern Pacific Ocean. A cyclone is a severe storm that starts in the Indian Ocean or in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, near Australia and Africa. A typhoon is a storm in the northwestern Pacific Ocean, near Asia. In 2009, a typhoon hit Taiwan. 80 inches, 2 meters of rain fell in 2 days. Heavy floods destroyed bridges and roads and caused widespread damage. So I put those in different colors: hurricane, Atlantic Ocean or Eastern Pacific, cyclone, Indian or Southwestern Pacific, and typhoon, Northwestern Pacific. And all of these are violent storms. So I'm going to make a note of this with the black. Hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons are serious violent storms that begin over oceans. So you might want to make a note of that. Cyclones and typhoons are violent storms that begin over oceans, and they just have different names depending on the location. When floods occur in the mountains, sometimes the water mixes with the earth to make mud. This heavy mud moves down the side of a mountain to make a mudslide. I'm going to circle this in pink. Mudslide. When heavy mud moves down the side of a mountain. Mudslides can destroy homes and injure people. In 1998, Hurricane Mitch resulted in about 10,000 deaths across the Caribbean. Many of the people died in the floods and mudslides when the water and mud washed their homes down the mountains. So, mudslides happen in the mountains, right? And mountains. So hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons happen over oceans, but the mudslides happen in mountains. And this is a picture of a mudslide that happened in the Caribbean during Hurricane Mitch. Next page, 201. And look at that picture. It's wow, incredible. All those cars are being washed away. This is a tsunami coming ashore in Japan in 2011. Movement under the earth can also cause natural disasters. Massive earthquakes are not frequent, but they can be deadly. In 2010, there was a major earthquake in Haiti. No one knows how many people died as a result. Estimates are between 50,000 to 300,000. It nearly destroyed or completely destroyed almost 300,000 buildings. 1 million people lost their homes. So this is an example of an earthquake causing deaths and property damage. The most severe damage is usually at the center of an earthquake, but an earthquake can also cause disaster far away. For example, in 2004, there was a major earthquake in the Indian Ocean near Indonesia. No people live in the ocean, so the earthquake did not hurt anyone. However, it caused a huge tsunami that hit 12 countries. So make a note of that. Earthquakes can cause tsunamis. A tsunami is a massive wall of water that hits the shore suddenly. Okay, I'm going to circle that and then circle the definition. This tsunami was 100 feet or 30 meters high. It destroyed many communities along the shore and killed about 230,000 people. More than 1.5 million people had to leave their homes. Although most earthquakes are caused by natural movement of the earth, sometimes human activity contributes to natural disasters. So make a note of that. Sometimes we think it's always nature, but we also do some things to make natural disasters happen. Mines can increase the pressure under the earth. Dams, which store large amounts of water, can cause an increase in pressure. This increase in pressure can lead to an earthquake, so make a note of that. Human activity, for example, mines and dams can increase pressure, and that leads to earthquakes. So make sure you write that in your notes. And then the last page on 202, look at the damage after the earthquake. Natural disasters occur when a community is vulnerable to natural events, such as violent weather or movements under the earth. Perhaps homes are on land that is very low or they are near a river. Perhaps the buildings are not very strong. These situations can make places vulnerable to storms, floods, or earthquakes. After disasters, communities often rebuild in ways to help them be less vulnerable to these events. So this is our conclusion. And if we look here, the 10 most natural disasters, you can look at this chart and see which disasters killed the most people. After you're done reading and annotating, then prepare to complete the rest of the activities.